Hello, and thank you for joining me for this video on the Abstract Factory design pattern. So, the Abstract Factory is a special case of the factory pattern. Well, it's more of a enhancement to it. Basically, in the factory pattern, you have a single class that decides which implementation of some number of base classes or some number of other classes to spit out, basically. Whereas in the abstract factory pattern, you have multiple factories, and those factories conform to an interface. So, to explain exactly what all of that nonsense means, I'm about to show a diagram. So, diagram warning, don't worry, I'll explain what it means. So, this is what the abstract factory pattern looks like. You can see that at the top you have a client. The client talks or knows about the abstract platform and the abstract product 1 and 2. So what all that means is the abstract platform is your group of factories. So platform A and platform B are their own factories in and of themselves, and they produce each produces two types of products. So platform A will produce product 1 and product 2. Same thing for platform B. The advantage of this is that the client never has to know anything about the classes of the product or the classes of the actual factory. They just conform to an interface. And so the relevant theory here is just separation of implementation and interface. The common sort of design principle is program to an interface, not an implementation. So if I show the highlighting here, the green is the three classes in the green are the interfaces, and they are appropriately designated as Java interfaces as well. And then the implementation is the everything else, basically. So yeah. Now, how do we think about this? Like, what's a good use case for this, or what's a good example of this? I've seen examples where they talk about making cars. I've seen examples where they talk about making various weapons and things. I don't tend to think that those are good examples. The way I tend to think about it is the way that I would explain about it is, think about a GUI, like a graphical user interface. Sometimes a GUI will have different themes, right? It'll have a dark theme, or it'll have a light theme, or something like that. And so within the light theme and the dark theme, you have different widgets. So you have buttons, you have text, you have drop downs, you have various things like that. And those are the products, right? So you can think of the text as different text boxes as one of the products, so we'll call that product 2, and then you can think of buttons as product 1, maybe. And so in that case, you would see that the platform A would probably be dark theme, and the platform B might be light theme. So each theme is going to produce a button or text that is in line with that actual theme, right? So let me rename things, and maybe that'll make it a little bit simpler. So as you can see, we renamed abstract platform there to be theme. Platform A is dark theme and light theme. Those are the concrete implementations of a theme. And then product 1 is a button. And so you have dark theme button and light theme button, and then you have text. So you have dark theme text and light theme text. So how does all of that actually work? Like, how do you actually implement that? So let us go into Eclipse. Don't worry too much about all of the classes that I've already created. I just, I didn't want you to have to watch me do each individual one, but I will make you watch me rename them, because I think that'll explain it a lot better. So the first thing we have open here is the main class. This is basically just going to run whatever we create. We're going to do all of our work, like all of the using of the factories, inside of client here. And then we're going to use this do something method, which we created. It's going to just pass in null for now, but we will fix that a little bit later. So if we look into this, the client, the only thing it knows about now is the abstract platform. So later on, we will have to fix that. We'll have to do some things with that. But the abstract platform, we need to, I was going to say, these are all basically just empty classes. So platform A, for instance, it just implements the abstract platform. The same is true of product A, or platform A product 1. It just implements the abstract product 1. So if we go into it, it just implements abstract product 1. The only reasoning for that is so that it will force us to it'll force us to declare the methods in this interface, which there are none at the moment. But let's go through and rename everything, and maybe it'll make a little bit more sense after that. So abstract platform, if we go back to our diagram here, looks like abstract platform is going to be renamed to theme. Okay, and so if you, I believe it is Alt-Shift-R in Eclipse, is it not? Yes, it is. All right, so we'll rename abstract platform to be theme. And that should rename literally everything. And so you'll see in abstract platform B, we have theme here. So I believe we decided A was going to be, whoops, nope, actually, sure, let's try that. We started A instead dark theme. Yeah, okay. So dark theme implements theme, whatever that might mean at the moment. And so we'll go to platform B and say light theme. And then for abstract product, we're going to call that a button. And then abstract product 2, we're going to call that text. And so platform A, product 1. So platform A, that is dark theme. And product 1 is a button. So this is the dark theme button. Same thing here. This is going to be the light theme button. And then this is, ooh, did I get that messed up? I think I did. So this is light theme text, I believe. Or no, dark theme text. What am I doing? Yes, because it's 2 then 1 because of the sorting. No, it's 1 then 2. Okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. So this is light theme button. I do know what I'm talking about, but yeah. And then this will be light theme. It'll be light theme text. If I didn't know what I was talking about, I wouldn't be making this. But yeah, so you see light theme text implements text now. So now that we've done all the renaming, this implements text. Okay. So how are we actually going to show off, or actually let's go to theme. So the theme is going to do two things. Since this is the abstract platform, this is actually going to be our factory, right? So this is going to produce two things. It's going to produce buttons and text. So we're going to create two methods on it. First one is going to return a button, and we're going to say getButton. And then the second one is going to return text, and we're going to call it getText. I know, very original, right? So these are your factory methods. We're just going to do product and product, yeah. All right, and so that produces two errors in the light theme and the dark theme. It basically says, hey, you don't have an implementation for that. So we're going to just hover over, click the implement unimplemented methods, and now since this is the dark theme and this is the button, we're going to return a new dark theme button. And then since this is the getText, it's new dark theme text, right? Okay, cool. And then in this case, we are going to say add unimplemented methods, if I can speak today. We're going to say return new light theme button and new light theme text. And so see, these two factories are very similar in terms of what they're going to do. So in here, in button, we can create, I don't know, some kind of display method. Actually, we'll call it click since it's a button. It's not actually going to do any clicking. It's just going to sort of be a placeholder, but in the interface of button, we're going to call it click. And in the interface of text, we're going to call it display. And this is just going to be overridden in the product classes, and we're going to show that it's working. So I know that that's created a whole bunch of errors here. We'll go solve those in a second. What I wanted to do was go into the client here. And so what we can do is we can actually rename this to theme because it makes a little bit more sense. But we can actually now use the theme, and we can say we're going to create a button from the theme. We're going to say, hey theme, give me whatever button you have. And then we're going to say for text, hey theme, give me whatever text you have. Whatever kind of text component you build, right? So we can just say button.click, since we just created that method, and we can say text.display. And there we go. And so you see, this is the beauty of sort of the abstract factory pattern, is that the client has no idea what the actual base class of any of these are. So for theme, it's just an interface here. For button, it's the same. It's just an interface, and the same thing for text. It's just an interface. So there can be, any number of classes that it has, or any number of, in this case, themes. You could have any number of them, and the client would always work. You don't ever have to change the client. So in the case of the, say, dark theme button, it's going to complain at us and say, hey, you have an unimplemented method there. So we're just going to do system.out.println. It doesn't matter what you select from that menu, by the way. You can select any of these and it will still work. Some people don't know that. So you would say, I don't know, we're going to say dark theme button in this case, because that's what it is. And I'm just going to copy that, and we're going to say add unimplemented methods. And in this case, we're going to say dark theme text. And then in this case, we will say add unimplemented methods. Oops, that's not what I meant. Okay. It's going to be a light theme button. And in this case, it will be a light theme text, because this is display. Oops. Just want to double click and highlight that. You know what, I'll retype it anyway. So, now that we have these implemented, what we can do is we can go into the client again. Remember, we didn't have to change the client at all. And we can go back to main here, and so main passes in the theme to the client. So what we say here is we say new, say dark theme, right? So this is the dark theme of the UI. And now, if we run this, which I believe is Alt-Shift-X and then J, what you'll see is that it's using the dark theme button and the dark theme text. Now, what if we want to switch to light theme? In this case, we just pass in a different factory to the client, which is the theme. Just pass in a different one, and all we have to do, Alt-Shift-X and then J, and then we get a light theme button and light theme text. So, we just were able to change, not only did we change the underlying implementation of the factory, but we also changed the underlying implementation of the text or the button. So yeah, remember the text and the button are the products, and then the dark and the light theme are the factories. So to go back to the diagram and sort of wrap that up, you can have any number of abstract platforms, or sorry, any number of platforms in this. So you could have platform C, D, E, F. You could have any number of products. You could have, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could even have only one product if you wanted. The same is true of the factories. You might have, well, no, I think you'd actually need multiple factories for it to make sense. But yeah, you could have one product in multiple factories, and that would be fine, but yeah. So in this case, if we were to rename everything, you might have, instead of buttons and text, you might also have, select boxes. You might have, backgrounds, various things like that. Just various GUI components you could have in our example. The same is true for light theme, dark theme. I know some applications have various themes, like, Visual Studio has kind of like a blue sort of theme as well. But yeah, that is sort of the factory design pattern, or the abstract factory pattern. And yeah, hopefully you learned something. If you think I do a good job, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends, and leave a comment below on what you thought was good, what you thought was bad, what could improve, etc. Thank you for watching.